Hey everybody, this is Ron from RV Weekenders. Hey, we're going to talk about RV internet service for the weekender crowd. Now, there's a lot of people out there that talk about internet service for the full-time RVers, but what I want to tailor this to is for those of us that just travel on the weekends, maybe take a couple weeks out of the year to vacation, but we still want to have internet service with us. We want to be able to monitor like our fridge when we're driving down the road. Maybe we have a pet that is going to go with us and we're going to leave him various times. And we want to make sure we have some type of internet access so that we can monitor what goes on with our fifth wheel while we're away from it, while we're traveling and we're doing different things and sightseeing and touring and so forth. So we're going to talk about that right now. So be right back. All right, so let's talk about internet service for the weekend RVer and those people that are traveling just a couple weeks out of the year, maybe even 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month at the most, and you still want to have internet service wherever you're going. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Are there plans out there for the RVer, for the weekend person, somebody that wants to be on? Oh yeah, there are. Okay, there are plans that you can use out there. I know. AT&T's got a great plan that we're using. It's a prepaid data plan. Basically, all you get is a little chip, your SIM card, and you can put that in your router. Now, if it's a WineGuard 360 and you've purchased the router, then you'll put that in the router, and that'll provide you with your internet service. And it's prepaid. You don't sign a long-term deal with them. You pay for it month by month as you go. That way it's available to you to use various times of the year. So if you're going to put your fifth wheel away for the wintertime and not use it, you basically just deactivate the plan until you're ready to use it again, and then reactivate it and you go on. Now we got 100 gigabytes for 50 bucks, and that's $50 for the month. And so that 100 gigabytes does us pretty well. Now how do you figure out how much do you need? Well, there's a lot of different ways you can do that. For an RV, you don't need as much as you might need for your home. For my house, we only use our internet service for our television, for our computers, for our phones. So our internet is our lifeline, and that's what we use. We don't have a cable service. We don't use a Spectrum or Time Warner or AT&T or any of that. We specifically have one internet service. It's a fiber optic service called Race Communications, and they give us enough bandwidth so that we can run the whole house. There's no throttling back, no nothing. If you're available to get Race, Race is a good way to go. We get 1,000 gigabytes. Correction, 1 gigabyte, not 1,000 gigabyte, but 1 gigabyte. Of bandwidth, and it again is not throttled back. Now I'm not an affiliate of Race, I just use them. We pay their bill every month with them, so it is a good deal for us. But when we're traveling, we turn to AT&T, and they're So when we're traveling, we turn to AT&T and their prepaid plan. Okay. And since we don't have a WineGuard 360, our rig, we bought it used, is a 2019 Montana 3931 FB, which is front bath. And it had a Furrion system that was put on in 2019, of course, and it really wasn't very good. Really wasn't very happy with it. Did not want to be saddled to it. So what we did was we went with the Pepwave router. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like. And you can see that I've mounted it in a pretty decent location for the fifth wheel. And all it takes is 12 volts. Okay. And I will put the link to the specific model that this is. It's a Mark BR1 Model 2 router. And we're using the LTE function of it. It will also pick up campground Wi-Fi and bring that into the rig. And that is actually an awesome deal when there is good campground Wi-Fi, because we encounter that once in a while, good campground Wi-Fi. And that when the campground Wi-Fi works really well, and you have more than one device, you want to be able to connect all your devices in your rig, this is the best way to go, this type of a device, because this PepWave will bring that signal into the trailer, and then you connect all your devices up to the PepWave, and everybody's using the internet on the campground Wi-Fi. Now, if it's not very good, then we turn to our cellular AT&T LTE, and that works really, really well. We have we've streamed with it, have been on our phones, on our laptops, and we've really had no issues with it whatsoever. We did have a little bit of difficulty getting the setup, and then we're going to go inside the house, and I'm going to bring up the setup and talk a little bit about a company called Mobile Must Have. Mobile Must Have definitely did us a good deal by selling us this unit, as well as helping us with the support. I really recommend them very highly. They're a good company to use. So let's talk a little bit more about this PepWave router. So on the end here, see if I can get a good shot of it. You can see two slots right there. Only one of them has a SIM card in it right now. That's our AT&T SIM card, and but it has availability for two different SIM cards. So if I was going to travel a lot and I wanted to put a Verizon card in there, I'll go to a full-time plan, I could, or if I wanted to have a AT&T full-time plan and a Verizon full-time plan, I can, or I could go to T-Mobile. They now have data plans that work really well. So the best way to learn about all of that is, and I'll leave a link for this website, is a Internet Resource Center, and they're really good. They are very knowledgeable, and they do a lot as far as RV internet service. They'll tell you a little bit more about Starlink, which is coming out now for RVs, but it's really meant for full-timers. And you can't be traveling down the road while you're using Starlink. You have to be in a park, stationary, with the antenna out. This way, we get to use our cellular service as we're traveling down the road. So if we wanted to be on the my wife wanted to be on the laptop in the truck, she has access to it via the satellite, to the cellular service. So it's really a good way to go. So let's go on inside. Well, actually, before we go inside, I want to show you one other thing. We're getting ready to mount on the roof, and I'll walk you through that when I do it. There's actually a good video that Mobile Must Have has for doing this. It is a pointing antenna. This is a 5-in-1 antenna, and we're going to mount this on the roof. This will take the place of those rabbit ears that are currently on the unit, and it will make connecting to the cell towers a lot easier when we're traveling down the road. Doing that on this particular rig is actually a lot easier than most. Keystone and Montana did a great job. I'm going to show you a little secret that they have. You'll see that the 12-volt lead is coming from where the Furrion unit used to be, and we brought it for the PepWave. But right here, you'll see that this is the total command package for this particular fifth wheel. Now, this is the in-command unit, and then we have, of course, our heater switches, light switches, our ceiling fan, but you'll also see our battery monitor, our inverter. We have a 3,000 watt inverter and charger, and then of course our surge guard, surge protector, that helps us keep an eye on our electricity to make sure that when we're in the parks that we're getting solid electricity. Okay, all of that we'll talk about at a later date. But right behind this, all of this, including this closet right here, is the electrical chase that you can get to go from the roof down to the garage, which is again below the master bed. And it makes it really, really easy. Running all the wires for the inverter and for the surge guard was easy. And you can see that this is actually where, I don't know why I leave that on there, but we also have our solar cables, which we'll be doing in the future. They're also behind this panel. And to get to all of that, we are actually going to put in an access panel in our half bath here. There's another little chase we'll take a look at real quick that we're going to use. You can see it right here. We're going to put an access panel up here that'll be able to get at behind. And that's how we're going to get our wires run for our pointing 5-in-1 antenna. Okay? So it's going to make it pretty nice. So let's go inside and get on the computer so I can show you a little bit more about what we're going to do and how we do it, how you set up the PepWave router. It's really fantastically simple. There are a couple of things that you need to do that Mobile Must Have helped us with. We had to learn a little bit more about the PepWave, and Mobile Must Have was a great way to do it. So let's go on inside. Okay, so we're inside at the computer, and what I've got on the screen right now is where I found the data plans, and it's for tablets and mobile hotspots. Okay, so that's where you go. You're looking for, when you go to att.com, you're looking for data plans for tablets and mobile hotspots, and then you scroll down to this particular area right here, and you have your choice of 3 different plans. Now, we chose the $55 a month pay per month plan. It is the most popular and does the best streaming, 5 gigs of high-speed data, which is really the best, a 5G, high-speed data with 100 gigabytes, as I'd indicated before. So for $55 a month now, it actually went up by $5. Now there is a $20 activation fee with this, so when you go down to the store, you're going to need a couple things. Of course, your credit card or whatever, however you're going to pay for it. You can do an automatic payment if you want to. You'll go to the AT&T website for my prepaid website, and they'll give all that to you at the store. So, but you're going to need your IMEI number, okay, from your router. Now you can find that in 2 different places. You can get it in the software, or you can get it on the box. So when you get the device for your whatever router it is that you're going to buy, hang on to the box, because the IMEI number, that's the number that identifies the router, and you'll have to give that to AT&T. They'll need that. So you'll get a SIM card, and I'm going to show you, you need the actual, and I'm going to blank out all of the numbers. You'll need the actual large SIM. So you'll get this card that'll come with the large SIM card. Don't knock out all the way to the small SIM that goes into a phone. You'll need the large one, and that's what goes in the PepWave router. And I believe it also goes into the WineGuard 360 router as well. So you get that, you'll pop it in based on the directions from the manufacturer, whether it's PepWave. And in our case, we went online to the Mobile Must Have website and got a video about how to install our PepWave and get it set up. So let me show you that website real quick. So this is the Mobile Must Have site. This is where we go, and I will leave a link down below so you can be able to get to this site. There's a lot of good things in here. I'll show you specifically which mobile router it is that we're using. Okay. It is this particular route. No, I'm sorry, not the Pro. This particular router right here. Okay. It's the Max BR1 Mark II LTA AWT router. So this is the one that we chose, and we find that it works really well. And Mobile Must Have is supported by Peplink, which is the manufacturer of the PepWave, and they have great customer service. So use the Mobile Must Have. One of the things that I recommend is they have a membership, which, if you can see my cursor, it's right there. Choose to get the membership. It gives you a little bit more support, and you get a discount for purchasing items. But again, I'll leave a link down below so that you can see this. Now let's take a look at the router in the software. the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shift over to the router signal, because the router is connected to our Wi-Fi in the house. So we're going to want to get connected to the Pearson mobile Wi-Fi. And then once we get there, looks like we're there, we're going to get on the, we're going to go to our RV Weekenders tab, and we're going to get to our RV Sites tab. We're going to go to our Peplink Web Admin. There we go. So this is the entry for the Peplink router. And we're going to get in here real quick. And no, I'm not going to share my password with you. We'll show you a couple of really nice features about this particular unit. This is the dashboard, and you can see that we're connected to our home Wi-Fi system. And when you first get to a campground, this is the Wi-Fi that you will use, the 2.4 gigabit. Boy, I can't talk. This is the first one that I usually put as priority one is the Wi-Fi WAN. That is the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network, and that's what most campgrounds are using. Very few of them will actually use the 5 gigahertz, which you can use. Here, my cursor is down here. You can drag it up there. I do have 5 gigahertz available, but it's for shorter distances. So that's why that 2.4 gigahertz is used by most campgrounds, because it's for longer distances. So hopefully you knew that. If you didn't, now you have a little information that you didn't know. So the next one down is our AT&T, and it's currently on standby. So if we were to lose the Wi-Fi, it would automatically switch over to our cellular. That's what's so wonderful about this Peplink router. One of the reasons why I chose it was because I can set this up to have, if I'm not connected to a Wi-Fi, my next priority will be the cellular, AT&T. If I had a Verizon, I could go to priority 3. I can go over to priority 4, and then disable it if I don't want anything on there. So I can have 4 priorities. So if the first one's not working, it'll jump to the second one. If the second one's not working, it'll jump to the third one. If the third one's not working, it'll jump all the way to the fourth one. So you can set this up, and it's very plug and play. You'll see that the hand is right there. I can drag this down and change the priority, put the cellular up on top, and it'll automatically switch over, which it's doing right now. You put the Wi-Fi on standby, and it's connecting to AT&T's LTE. Okay, that's a great way to go. I'm going to switch it back and put the cellular back on priority 2, and it will automatically switch back. So it's a really great way to do this. What I will try to do right now is we'll bring that back down to priority 2. There we go. I'm going to disconnect from the Pearson Wi-Fi, so you can see what happens when we disconnect. And the AT&T will automatically switch over. Okay, so now connected to AT&T, because we lost the wireless network. So now what we're going to do is we're going to open this up, and we're going to see all the different wireless networks that are available. Okay, and you will connect to one of them. You can see it's already reconnected back to the Pearson Wi-Fi. But you'll connect to one of them. It gives you the different bandwidths and the signal strengths here in the signal. Okay, so we're able to, if we wanted to connect to one of them. Okay, all right. So right now it's scanning. We'll go back in and connect back in a minute. Right now we're currently running on the AT&T and it's automatically switches over. It's really awesome for this particular PepWave. Again, there are some great videos on the Mobile Must Have website. They will show you how to do this. So hopefully we provided you with a little bit of information. I'm going to flip the camera around. So here we are. Don't forget, I'm Ron.
And I'm Stephanie.
And we're the RV Weekenders. And we're being a little bit helpful to those who are on the weekend RVing circuit. If not, maybe a little bit to the full-time RVers as well. We have a few more videos coming up in the near future. Hope that you subscribe to that channel of ours and hit the like button. Please share this video with your friends. Share our channel so we can continue to provide you with some good content. So take care, and we'll see you out there.
Bye.